Good morning, everybody. I hope that you have had a wonderful Reformation Sunday last week, a Halloween week after church last week. Maybe you've done something important and meaningful for All Saints Day. However you have been carving out or carving up this harvest, I hope it has been a wonderful season for you. I'm so grateful that you have come to join us for our Sunday School Sunday morning devotion here at St. John United Church of Christ. I'm Pastor Jana Myers, and we're going to spend a little time together talking about joy. Our Sunday School lesson this morning can be found at our church's, our big church, our denominational page, the UCC.org daily devotional. You can also find it in our church email that comes out every Thursday, as well as on our Facebook page and our church family Facebook page. Just scroll down, it's under the link Sunday School at Home. There'll be a nice little PDF that will pop up and you can read along, or you can go ahead and read this at any time during the week if you need some additional reminders. This particular Sunday School was written by Rachel Hackenberg, published on October 22nd, 2021, entitled Joy in the Morning. If you want to see it where it was originally published, just head over to ucc.org, daily devotional. Look for that title, Joy in the Morning, and the publication date of October 22nd. Our focus verse this morning is Psalm 34, verse 12 and 8a. Which of you desires life and covets many days to enjoy good? O taste and see, the Lord is good. Our author writes, the sounds of rain on the pavement and the wind through the trees outside my window wake me up. The sun is content to bide its time this morning, waiting for the clouds to pass, which is pretty much how I feel as I draw the bed covers closer. The covers make the day good, so does the pouring rain, so does the hidden sun. Waking up is my favorite part of the day these days, although it used to be my least favorite. With the constant hum of bad news, the brutal inclination of humanity towards violence, and the inevitability of my own personal failures, and a to-do list that seemed to stretch to the second coming itself, it used to be that greeting each new day with gratitude, let alone joy, was a stretch for my spirit. Calling a new day good before it even had a chance to let both shoes drop was premature from my spirit's perspective. But since all those trying and terrible things weren't likely to change anytime soon, aren't likely to change anytime soon, I've taken to unabashedly coveting goodness first thing in the morning, filling my lungs with the sweet scent of rain that is not mine, savoring my heart's desire for the sun, although its light is not within my control, delighting in the warmth that I ache to leave and already yearn to return to, hungering in my spirit for the goodness of God that I cannot hold or keep or command. I taste the morning with brazen pleasure, as if life is a rare find rather than a daily rhythm, and every morning it is good. I wonder how you greeted this morning. I wonder if you woke up thinking, that alarm was too early. Or maybe you don't set an alarm on Sundays and you wake up blissful like Snow White and you just stretch your arms, and wake up. I wonder how you greeted or did not greet this day. Because I think our author has a wonderful point. So often there's too much. And I hear this from you all every single day. The world is too much. There's too much happening. It's oh so hard to listen to the news. And I think quickly we become bogged down in the mire and the muck of our daily lives. the humdrum rhythm, as we so often say. And I wonder if we were to take our author's advice and acknowledge that those things that humdrum ourselves into boredom, despair, and depression are not going to change anytime soon. The bad news, the brutal inclination of humanity towards violence, the inevitability of our own failures, the constant to-do list that stretches to the second coming. I wonder if we focus on all of these things, we miss the opportunity to recognize that each morning is a pleasure, a harvest of joy and celebration, as opposed to another routine. I have to admit, I'm guilty of this myself, particularly in this past season. You probably already read it in the King's Business, but this past season has been a constant cycle of catastrophe for me. Every time I turn around, something else is breaking or falling or collapsing or crumbling or flooding or whatever it's doing. Whether it's our car or our house or our kids, oh my goodness, between Daniel and I, we don't even know if we're coming and going. And it's gotten to the point where we don't look forward to the next day because we can't even get through the challenges of the day we have. The other Monday, I put my key in the door, opened the door, and went in. And then I tried to take the key out of the door, and it would not release it. I don't fully understand the mechanical workings of this very rare and bizarre occurrence, but basically my house ate my key. And we couldn't get it out. We eventually had to close the door and go in and out the front door, which fortunately uses a different key. And it wasn't a catastrophe, but it was exhausting and frustrating, and it resulted in multiple trips to the hardware store late at night in order to extract the doorknob, to then extract the key, to put in a new doorknob and rekey the house. It felt like the straw that broke the camel's back. It was just one step too far. And at that point, I realized that I was not in control of any of the bizarre things that were happening to me, and I needed to stop trying to be. I needed to just let it go. And so you know what I did? I put in some headphones and some very loud music, and I spent the next many hours learning how to change doorknobs. And I am now an expert doorknob changer. And every time I turn that doorknob, I think, hey, I did a really good job. And I have managed in a tiny, tiny way to turn the final catastrophe of that day into a point of pride and joy. That now when I open my door, I think, yeah, I can fix a doorknob. Take that. It's not perfect, but it's a helpful response. When we realize that many, if not almost everything, is out of our control. And when we continue to let ourselves be overwhelmed by the countless things that overwhelm us and pull us away from the things that we can control, the things we can rejoice in, we get lost in an overwhelming sea of sadness. But you know what? We can do, as our author says, we could wake up 5 minutes early and be able to pull the covers right up to our chin and just enjoy the sounds of the morning. Maybe that's your coffee pot dripping fresh coffee. Maybe that's the birds. Maybe that's the sound of your spouse still snoring and you're the first one up. I love being the first one up in our house. Whatever those simple pleasures are, it might be time to start cultivating them. It might be time to start harvesting them. As we approach a season of harvest where all the fields are beginning to come down and the grain is being taken in, what small things, small moments of joy can you harvest into your life? I have harvested my doorknob, and every day it brings me joy. Every day I open it and I am grateful. Grateful for the people at the store who helped me find it. Grateful for my spouse who kept his cool when I did not. Grateful that now we have a working doorknob and I have a new skill. I could choose to see it as one in a long line of catastrophes. But I have instead decided to harvest the joy of the doorknob, to let the pain and the frustration go of a ruined evening and a burned dinner, and instead celebrate that I can now unabashedly open the door to new possibilities. You can too, and I hope that you do. I hope that in this season of harvest and season of catastrophe, you choose to harvest the joy. Choose to harvest the good, even if it is as small as a grain, a kernel of corn. It is worth it. It is good. It is joy. Let us pray together this morning. My mouth is full of praise, and my heart shivers with delight in your goodness, O God. Go do one thing between now and 10 o'clock that harvests joy. Whether that's eating the cupcake you've been saving, whether that's making that second cup of piping hot coffee, whether that's changing from your, regular pajamas to your church pajamas, whatever you do, do one joy harvesting act before I see you again at 10 o'clock right here for worship. Bye, my friends.